for another country, and today we're on Bosnia and Herzegovina, Herzegovina, however you pronounce it, which is, as the country is an emerging democracy with a rotating tri-party presidency divided between predominantly Serb, Croatian and Bosnian political parties. So yeah, here we go with Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, back in ancient times, it was called Illyricum, and which was conquered by the Romans in the 2nd and 1st centuries BC, and folded into the Roman province of Dalmatia in the 5th and 4th and 5th centuries AD. They got overran the portion of a declining Roman Empire, and they occupied the area that is now Bosnia and Herzegovina until the 6th century, when the Byzantine Empire claimed it, which was kind of like the Eastern Roman Empire in the decline of the Roman Empire. And Slavs began settling the region in the 7th century, as we know, and around 1200 Bosnia was declared won independence from Hungary and enjoyed as an independent Christian state for about 260 years. Now, the expansion of the Ottoman Empire in the Balkans introduced another cultural and political and religious framework, as the Turks defeated the Serbs in the Battle of Kosovo in 1389, and they conquered Bosnia in 1463. And during the roughly 450 years, Bosnia and Herzegovina were under Ottoman rule, and many of the Christian Slavs became Muslim, and the Bosnian Islamic elite gradually developed and ruled the country on behalf of the Turkish overlords. Now, as the borders of the empire began to shrink in the 19th century, Muslims from elsewhere in the Balkans migrated to Bosnia, and Bosnia also developed a sizable Jewish population, as many of the Jewish residents settled in Sarajevo after their expulsion from Spain in 1492. However, in the 19th century, the term Bosnian was commonly included residents of all faiths, whereas it was a relatively secular society at that time, where intermarriage among the different religious groups was not uncommon. Where neighbouring Serbia and Montenegro fought against the Ottoman Empire in 1876 and were aided by the Russians, who were fellow Slavs. At the Congress of Berlin in 1878, following the end of the Russo-Turkish War, which was from 1877 to 1878, Austria-Hungary was given a mandate to occupy and govern Bosnia and Herzegovina, and if in an effort by Europe to ensure Russia didn't dominate the Balkans, although the provinces were still officially part of the Ottoman Empire, they were annexed by Austro-Hungarian Empire on October 7th, 1908, and as a result, relations with Serbia, which had claims on Bosnia and Herzegovina, became embittered. Hostilities between the two countries climaxed in the assassination of Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo on the 28th of June 1914, which led to, by Serbian nationalists, which led to World War I, as we know, which lasted from 1914 till 1918, and Bosnia and Herzegovina was annexed to Serbia as part of a newly formed kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes on October 26, 1918. Now, and as we know, the name was later changed to Yugoslavia in 1929. And then when Germany invaded Yugoslavia in 1941, Bosnia and Herzegovina were made part of a Nazi-controlled Croatia. And during the German occupation, Bosnian and Herzegovinian residents fighters fought a guerrilla war against the Stasi, who were the Croatian fascist troops. And at the end of World War II, Bosnia and Herzegovina were reunited into a single state as one of the 6 republics of a newly re-established communist Yugoslavia under Tito. And under the authoritarian control kept the ethnic enmity and his patchwork nation in check. And when Tito died in 1980 with growing economic dissatisfaction and the falling of the Iron Curtain over the next decade or so, Yugoslavia began to splinter, and in December of 1991, Bosnia and Herzegovina declared independence from Yugoslavia and asked for recognition by the EU or European Union. And in March 1992, a referendum was held where Bosnian voters chose independence, and President Alija Izetbegovic declared that the nation of independent states, unlike the other former Yugoslav states, which were generally composed of dominant ethnic groups, Bosnia was an ethnic tangle of Muslims who made up about 44% of the population, Serbs who made up 31%, and Croats making up 17%. And the mix contributed to kind of like fights for independence kind of thing. So yeah, it's like there's so many different ethnicities and all that. It's kind of hard to keep everyone together on the same page. So yeah. As a result, there's kind of like 3 official languages in Bosnia and Herzegovina. There's Bosnian, Serbian, and Croatian. Now the primary language is Bosnian, although the 3 languages bear similarities with each other. And from 1463, Bosnia was a territory of the Ottoman Empire, a period during which of the many Christian Slavs embraced Islam. And the influence during this period resulted in numerous Turkish and Arabic loanwords heard in like the Bosnian language today. At the time of its withdrawal from Yugoslavia in 1991, Bosnian had a unique mix of 44% Muslim, 31% Serbs, and 17% Croats, as we just talked about like a minute or 2 ago. Now in Bosnian uses the Latin and Cyrillic alphabet and has 5 simple vowel systems, all of which are monophthongs. In medieval times, Bosnian was written using the alphabet known as the Bosnian Cyrillic, which was a version of the Cyrillic alphabet. And in the Ottoman era, Bosnian was the writing language. It was written using a version of the Arabic alphabet. And Bosnian was classed as a Indo-European group, and in the Slavic subset, the Slavic languages became grouped in southern, western, and eastern, and the Bosnian and Slavs settled in Eastern Europe in the 6th century AD. After their departure from Old Poland, I will get to at some point soon, in the next few weeks, and the Slavic languages became grouped in southern, western, and eastern. The Bosnian language arose from the southern Slavic languages, like Croatian and Serbian, and more particularly and the subdialects of Eastern Herzegovinian, and Bosnian has more Arabic, Turkish, and Persian loanwords, and Croatian and Serbian due to links with the cultural values and cultures be Islam, and Bosnian began to establish itself as an individual language after the disintegration of Yugoslavia in the 1990s, and the language was given official status in 1994, as were Serbian and Croatian. And it's like Serbian is another language that is native to Bosnia and Herzegovina, and like Bosnian, Serbian has its basis on Stokavin, and more particularly on the Eastern Herzegovinian, as well as Samadija Vojvodina. Dialects of Serbian Cyrillic alphabet was the work of Vuk Karadžić, a Serbian linguist who devised it by phonetic principles, and the Latin alphabet, which was also featured in Serbian, was the work of Ljudevit Gaj. He was a Croatian linguist who created it in 1830, and Serbian has an estimated 1,086,027 speakers in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And the bulk of the Serbian words have been identified as being indigenous Slavic lexical stock, and can be traced to the Proto-Slavic language, and Serbian also features numerous loanwords from Greek, German, Russian, Latin, Hungarian, Italian and Turkish language. And Croatian is slightly differentiated, as in it only has like the Latin alphabet only, and the Jakarvian pronunciation, and several lexical differences in common words, although Croatian is regarded as a variety of Serbo-Croatian, and it's sometimes used as a distinct language of its own. And the majority of Croatian linguists view as a language as distinct, a notion which has been shown to be a key ingredient in the national identity. And Croatian was given official status by the EU following Croatia's inclusion into the bloc in 2013, and the bloc subsequently began releasing a variety of its own official gazette in language. And it's like an immigrant language with the largest community of speakers in Bosnia and Herzegovina is Bulgarian at about 4,100, and other immigrant languages can be Italian with 3,600, Ukrainian with 1,800, Turkish with 1,200, and German. So yeah, there's a few languages going around. Yeah, nice. Like with legends, I've kind of focused on like one legend from Bosnia about the legends of Queen Katarina, and as by some of the folk traditions of Bosnia and Herzegovina, the historian Bibliography Palavestra noticed that the memories of events and individuals from medieval Bosnia live to this day and can apply to Queen Katarina, who can still hear among elderly people living in the vicinity of Krajeva, Sutjeska, Kreskovo, Frojinka, and Orlova, and other places in central Bosnia, along with legends recorded by Veljaco Palavestra. So yeah. Vladimir Alupovic was a man of noble blood who lived in the town of Varese and started accumulating old stories. Like legends he would hear during his visits to the villages next to Varese, like Dragovici, Donja, and Gorja Bravovica, Pogaji, Vikar Vijaka, Prezinici, and Majdal. So yeah, the first of the legend is that Queen Katarina, ordered her son to saddle her horse, setting off towards the villages around Bobovac, and everyone wondered why about the girl beautifully dressed in a white cloak on a white horse, but no one really recognised her. And finally she arrived in the village of Sevji, the old blacksmith's name, or Majdan, and went to the first watermill she encountered, and where she saw people living in such poverty, and she gave every child a single golden coin. They were in the second eldest inhabitants of Tarsin, a village between Sarajevo and Konjic, still remember their parents' story about the powerful spring named Katerina. And the spring was named after Queen Katerina, who escaped Kozograd and Kosovo to Ston, and all the way to Tarsin and Konjic. Whereas the people say the Queen stopped in Tarsin to water her horse, as well as the horses of the 40 noblemen who escorted her. And at the time of that event, the spring has carried her name. And in one section on the book on Katerina, entitled "The Good Fairies Pacing Through Bosnia," Dubravka Horvatic noted a legend similar to the one presented by the nobleman Vladimir Alupovic. Now, in the fall of 1446, a region between Zagose, Iska and Varese, and beside the Srtivinka and Stavinja rivers, there were no rumours about the appearance of a good fairy dressed in white attire with gilded embroidery covered in white fur. She was riding an untamed white horse. Shepherds talked about her after coming back to the village, and they said that she suddenly appeared from the forest, as if sprouting from the ground, and they were able to run off and simply stayed and found where they were. And the fairies came to the shepherds on horseback, inquiring about them and the situation in their houses, and she wanted to know if the household members prepared enough food for the winter, and whether or not they had enough hay for their cattle. And she inquired about the harvest and crops, and about the seeds present among humans and people and cattle, and in the end she gave all them some sweets that even the king had never tasted. And in addition, Vatic mentioned the children's stories were confirmed by a certain old lady who saw a fairy burst before her while she was carrying food from the forest. And the old lady talked of how one of her sons died while the king tried to defeat the invading Turks, and her second son went to seaside to try and earn some money. All of her daughters, on the other hand, married, so she is living alone. And after setting out to warn the village, the fairy slipped a golden coin to the old lady's hand and left. And one day the same fairy appeared at the blacksmith's shop on the river Stavanger, stopping at the shop of the blacksmith called Paul, asking him to shoe her horse, and in the meantime she asked him how blacksmiths live, and in a way what helps them run their shops. And after Paul shoed her horse, the fairy gave him a large sum of money. And one legend by Friar Injakiji Strujikic pertains to Katerina's stay inside Krasava fortress at Bedem, where King Thomas and she resided before the arrival of the Turks. And at the time, Thomas, his brother Radivoj, was a former fortress commander, and in the legend it says that in the olden days, as people say, the royal family resides inside the Krasava fortress on Molaschi, the mountain in the southern-eastern side of Krasava. And the king would thresh his own grain after measuring the distance between the town and the aforementioned mountain. The queen, wearing golden wooden slippers called nanul, would walk towards the king holding her son in one hand and warm play. to lunch with a king in her other hand. So yeah, and there's another one relating to the Turkish invasion of the fortress of Bedem. And it's said that in the Turkish invasion of the Kosovo fortress, the people living in the gorges of the Kacinika, now I'll try and pronounce it, Kacinika, and Vranjanka rivers surrounded the fortress, laid out thick-eyed. In doing so, they stopped both the nearby streams, and when the enemy approached the town, citizens removed their hides and placed in the rivers and frustrating gushing waters which drowned the enemy's soldiers. So yeah, very cheerful. And there's one more major one that I can see at the moment. And during the occupation of Bosnia, Duke Radivoje, now Thomas's brother, living in Kosovo, was also the fortress commander. Reaching Bosnia, the Turkish prince settled in the northern parts of the town and in a place called Kavisi, which is only an hour away from the town, and so rained down heavy fire upon the town. And people say that the prince had been trying to take over the town for 7 years, to no avail. In that time, the Duke ran out of food supplies, and there's Banner, which means war equipment, which forced him to launch a final assault and made a decision to load a donkey full of his remaining rice and place a donkey inside a cannon. He fired a donkey towards his enemy, who caused it to find loads of rice. They arduously decide, and there it is. The Bosniaks faulted this event in a celebratory manner, and it greatly angered the Turks and drove them to desperation, and they decided to retreat and stop the siege of the town, when all of a sudden a toothless old woman came to the Turkish army, telling them that the launch of a donkey was a final attempt made by the Duke. Upon hearing this, the prince instantly turned back and occupied the town and enslaved the Duke. Now, according to one written document from folk tradition, Queen Katerina yielded the wishes to the Bosnian lords and finally set off to Rome from Kosovo, and she had hesitated so much with her 70 horsemen that the Bosnians created a monument containing 4 horseshoes carved into stone, and small iron that the Queen had hollowed out with a stick. And the woman from Jessica region accepted Queen Katerina as their mother, and they mourn her even to this day. And in the legend originating from the vicinity of Krajeva, Jessica says that when forced to leave Bobovac before the invasion of the Turkish army, Katerina said she would never forget the village is Dragovici and Magica Kovisi, and her married daughters Dragica and Melissa were there, and so was her Jesnica with Bukova fish and water from the Radakovica river and the village of Borovica. There is a saying that the Bosnian king was resisting the Turks for 7 years from Bobovac by firing bullets and white beans at them. When the queen set out from Bobovic, she travelled through Vaznis, near Donja Borovica. Upon reaching Repista, she stops and said, "Farewell to you, my glorious Bosnia, and to all my free belongings, the water from the spring of Radakovica, the fish from Bukovica, and the wheat from Regisnica." According to the tales, the Hilvis on Bobovica Bobovac, containing remains of a castle and the Norman bulwark of a town, is an entirely artificial dike, and was said to have been made in a single night for the purpose of protecting Queen Katerina and the main castle tower from Turkish cannons firing from meteorites. It's like how fast and strenuous the people had worked on the embankment. It was kind of proven by the following: that that night 77 pregnant women had miscarried, and 77 mares brought forth a colt. And once Queen Katerina realised she could not defend the town, she requested from the Turkish Quanta to allow her to leave with all her belongings and wealth. Was actually it was the amount she could load on 50 horses. And the vicinity of the villages of Visnejica near Visoka, above the confluence of Zenica and Rijeka streams. There exist the remains of a medieval fortress that allegedly belongs to Queen Katerina. And the water from the mountain Semenica would be brought into the town on rowboats. The Queen had her herd of sheep on the same side of the mountain. When the Turks besieged the town, shepherds from Severnsnica stopped the delivery of water to the town and instead sent milk on rowboats. And even to this day, the people in Kraljevia, Sojiska, tell the story of Queen Katerina's escape from Bobovac to Jagis. When she reached the town of Jagis, she had to go back because Jagis was also under siege, and she decided to show a horse in a reversed way, placing a circular part of a horse on the back of a horse seat, and this led the Turks who followed her in the wrong direction. However, they still managed to capture her children and convert them to Islam, and the numerous legends about the names of the toponyms to certain legend locations that Queen Katerina passed through while leaving Bosnia. And for example, legend says that the town of Zenica got its name after the following events, and in the location where Zenica is today, where Queen Katerina stopped, thinking of Bobovac, and said, "Alas, my Zenica is left behind." On Ozren Mountain, Katerina stopped and turned around, and this is how the mountain was named. And after going further, hungry and thirsty, she started praying to the Mother of God. She thrust a distaff onto the ground, making a spring which people call the Queen's of Water. And on the hill Gostilgi, the local folk brought out the food to serve in Carter Ugostiti and the Queen, and that is how the place was named. The village of Ostrivicali was supposedly named after the Queen. Saying like, "Oh my, I've eaten too well," kind of thing. So yeah. Sorry, I just had the ones, but like, as I didn't really want to kind of just focus on like Bosnia only, as I couldn't really find anything around that one, and football legends. So like, as much as I love football and all that, I don't like watching it, and I don't want to keep put it into my videos, any videos just yet, like this anyway. I can talk about it in the news and all, because it's the news and all, but yeah. I'll say bye for now, and I'll see you all very soon. So bye.